Attention, citizens.
I said, do you wanna fight me? Do you wanna catch these hands? Bitch, I'll catch you in the streets. I'm with that beef. Bitch, I'll beat your ass.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lance. I want to give a big shout out to 4-Minute Red Forehead, aka Red. I want to give a big shout out to you because you requested a new type of video, because I mentioned it a while back about how some of the reactor spotlight is just, the reactor spotlight is not reactor spotlighting.
Jesus, why? Tell me why!
I'm going to put one on this channel. I'm going to put one on the second channel, and I'll give you a shout out on both of them, Red. This one in particular, Mayfield, tornado horror in Kentucky. It's about 15 minutes long. It's nice, bite-sized.
Is with Nestle's semi-sweet real chocolate morsels.
Also, I want to give a shout out to the channel. Kelton Henderson is the channel. And here we go.
Of atmospheric conditions would lead to a devastating outbreak of tornadoes across the Mississippi and Ohio River valleys. Its consequences would shake the region to its core and leave everything in its path unrecognizable. One of the tornadoes in this outbreak would be particularly devastating, leaving untold devastation, injuring hundreds and claiming the lives of 57. An unseen monster masked by the darkness of night. Today, we discuss the Mayfield tornado.
Oh, the production on this already is good.
The morning of December 10th seemed no more exceptional than the days prior, aside from some unusually warm and pleasant weather for what was supposed to be winter. Many residents were carrying on with their daily activities, preparing for the upcoming holidays. However, unseen to the average person, the building blocks of a major disaster are assembling above their heads. A deep, upper-level trough is moving in from the west. As it crosses the Rocky Mountains, a surface low develops and starts to drift northeast. As it does so, unseasonably warm and moist air is being drawn in from the Gulf of Mexico. 2 points across the warm sector soar into the mid to upper 60s, with temperatures breaking records for December. This contributes to Cape values of 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. Winds in the warm sector change rapidly in both intensity and direction with altitude, leading to a strongly sheared environment. The intense wind shear and ample instability are forming an environment favorable for the formation of long-track, intense rotating thunderstorms called supercells. These storms can produce torrential rainfall, severe winds, hail, and most concerning of all, intense tornadoes. Noting the risk for severe weather, the Storm Prediction Center denotes a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk for the area, including the risk for strong nocturnal tornadoes. The environment is primed. All that is needed is a trigger.
Oh, the way you say that too, sir. Oh my God. That's during the winter time. See, one thing about the hurricanes, Florida, we don't really, usually was it the end of October? We have the end, is it the end of October, the beginning of November? I think it's the end of October. Hurricane season's over with.
Storms would initiate in northeastern Arkansas and slowly organize as they drifted northeast. One of these cells would organize into a powerful supercell, and around 7 p.m. produced its first tornadoes.
7 p.m.
Locals and storm chasers would observe several brief, weak tornadoes, including 2 on the ground simultaneously as the storm approached the south side of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Racing off to the northeast of Jonesboro, the supercell would produce its 5th and first violent tornado.
The first? That's not good enough? Mother Nature, you're a bitch.
The tornado would cause its first damage at 7:07 p.m. Central Standard Time, inflicting minor EF0 to EF1 damage early on before quickly intensifying to EF2 strength. The tornado then intensified to EF3 strength as it struck the city of Manette, causing severe damage, injuring many, and claiming its first life as the storm impacted the Manette Manor nursing home, causing significant damage to the structure.
Damn, the nursing home.
The tornado would continue to cause severe damage as it impacted the town of Leachville, Arkansas, and claimed another life as it destroyed a Dollar General.
A Dollar General? Holy shit. What? Holy shit. You would hope. A nursing home already and a Dollar General. You would think, you would pray that these two particular buildings will be strong enough for a tornado. You kind of hope. Maybe not the roof, but you hope that the walls will probably try to protect you enough. From that footage, goddamn, that Dollar General looked like it was made by Legos. You have no fucking chance. Like, my first instinct, hide in the bathroom. Well, if it's going to collapse on you,
He's buying the stairway to heaven.
The tornado fluctuated in intensity as it crossed into Missouri before abruptly becoming violent as it approached the town of Hayti, causing EF4 damage and claiming 2 more victims, one of which was tragically a 9-year-old girl.
oh my God, that poor baby. Those poor parents.
The tornado would again become violent after crossing the Mississippi River into Tennessee, impacting the town of Tiptonville, where 3 more would perish.
Jesus.
The tornado would claim its final victim as it impacted the town of Sandburg before finally dissipating at 8:36 p.m. Central Standard Time after traveling for more than 80 miles and claiming 8 lives. This tornado, with estimated peak winds of 170 miles per hour, received an EF4 rating.
Jesus.
Following this EF4, the storm began to cycle as it approached the Kentucky border.
This guy's narration he has a good narration voice.
The tornado would inflict its first damage near the Woodland Mills area before racing off to the northeast and rapidly intensifying as it crossed the border into Kentucky. On approach to Casey, Kentucky, the tornado became violent, sweeping many structures off their foundations and badly damaging the fire department. The tornado claimed 1 life and injured several others before exiting Casey. Damage here would peak at low-end EF4 intensity.
EF4, Jesus.
The tornado continued its track to the northeast, carving in deep scour marks and trenches into the ground, indicating it was still extremely violent. The tornado continued to inflict significant damage as it drew closer and closer to the city of Mayfield, Kentucky, a city of more than 10,000 people.
The debris ball is now coming into Mayfield. Send some prayers to Mayfield right now. Let's keep our friends in prayer.
The tornado roared into the southwestern fringes of Mayfield around 9:25 p.m. at EF4 intensity, obliterating several well-built structures, sweeping their foundations clean of debris and shredding a candle factory to the ground with more than 100 workers inside, resulting in 8 deaths and numerous injuries.
I'm surprised there's only 8.
With it now clear that a violent tornado would hit the heart of Mayfield, the National Weather Service issued a tornado emergency. At 9:26 p.m., Mayfield was swallowed by the ferocious winds of the tornado.
God damn.
The twister directly impacted the downtown area, destroying several well-built multi-story buildings as it carved its way through the center of the city. Businesses and residences alike were swept away into the deadly vortex as debris was lofted to more than 30,000 feet into the air. 22 would perish before the tornado's wrath had finished with the city. Inflicting high-end EF4 damage, the tornado exited Mayfield and drew its sights on the city of Benton, where another tornado emergency would be issued.
Poor lives. I love. Hold on, calm down. Can we pause? What are we doing with the pausing? When I hit pause, please. The way he's doing the video, I really enjoy it because he shows this part right here, like the tracking, the spaghetti, little spaghetti strings right here. This part, God, this is, when you see this red, look at all this red right here. Ciao. No. And then they have this footage, which is just, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. How many lives were just, it's sad.
tornado would ultimately spare Benton, passing just to the north of town.
Oh boy,
However,
Benton.
in doing so,
Yes,
the tornado
Jesus.
closed in on the small community of Cambridge Shores.
Jesus Christ, look at this damage. My God, these poor people have to...
The tornado would slam into the lakeside community at 9:57 p.m., sweeping away many homes and inflicting EF4 damage before crossing into the land between the lake's recreation area and leaving a trail of deforestation in its wake.
Oh God, going over water too.
After crossing the lakes, the tornado began to close the distance to the town of Princeton, prompting another tornado emergency to be issued.
Ooh. Look at that. Oh my God, this footage.
The tornado would impact the south side of Princeton at 10:17 p.m., devastating the Golf and Country Club community where many homes were destroyed, with some being completely swept to their foundations. The tornado would reach EF4 intensity here and claim 4 more lives before exiting the town, carving deep cycloidal marks into the
Look
earth.
at Jesus Christ, dude.
The tornado then approached the town of Dawson Springs, again prompting yet another tornado emergency as the mile-wide wedge roared into the town. At 10:32 p.m., the tornado made a direct hit on the residential side of town at EF4 intensity, flattening entire neighborhoods and shredding buildings down to their foundations. An apartment building here would be dismantled down to just a few interior walls on the lowest level, and several industrial buildings would be seriously damaged. A photograph from one of the homes in Dawson Springs would be lofted by the wrath of the twister and was later found more than 120 miles away in Indiana. 14 would tragically perish here before the monstrous winds of the tempest moved on. The tornado continued on its track, impacting a few other small communities to the northeast of Dawson Springs at EF3 intensity, flattening or completely sweeping away many poorly built structures while rapidly closing in on the small community of Bremen, where the National Weather Service had issued another tornado emergency.
If you have tinnitus,
Tornado emergency for Bremen, Kentucky.
warning to
The
people who have
National Weather
tinnitus.
Service in Paducah has issued a tornado warning for northern Muhlenberg County in south central Kentucky, southeastern McLean County in northwestern Kentucky until 11:15 p.m. Central Standard Time.
As the tornado approached the north side of Bremen, it suddenly intensified to near EF5 strength, obliterating several well-built structures and sweeping their slabs completely clean of debris.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Trees sustained severe debarking and denuding. The ground was scoured. Several vehicles were thrown and the debris from slabbed homes were windrowed through the farmland by the violent winds.
This one house right
Footage of
here.
the monster tornado was captured by
This one house right here at the end. You must have had a guardian angel. They still got a little bit of a roof. They got their roofs left. This house kind of fared pretty well. But this house at the end right here, you had a guardian angel, my friend. You had a guard. You probably have some roof damage, but you at the end, my friend, because your neighbors, oh my God. You won't have to worry about noise complaints any further if you did, because my God, look at this. Look at this little house right here, right next to you, my friend. You're lucky. Right next to you, gone. Next to you, that little house next to you, that big house. I don't know. You must have used like concrete and steel and just. I'm like, oh, you had a guardian angel.
windrowed through the farmland by the violent winds.
Wow.
Footage of the monster tornado was captured by Eddie Knight as it passed just to his south.
Shout out to Eddie Knight for the footage. Ooh, that looks scary. That's the devil right there. Probably Boucher.
Continuing through Bremen, the tornado would sweep away several more homes, scouring the foundation and driveway. Several poorly constructed residents and manufactured homes would be completely destroyed and swept away as the tornado finally left Bremen, taking 11 more lives with it. The tornado weakened after leaving Bremen and would continue at EF3 intensity, impacting a few other small communities as it tracked to the northeast.
Oh my God, look at this. And those things are deep into the ground too. God damn, this brick wall's... Jesus Christ, dude.
The supercell began to cross into less favorable conditions as storm coverage increased and its inflow was interfered with. Tracking for roughly another 40 miles through a mostly rural area, the tornado began to gradually weaken before finally dissipating at 11:48 p.m. near the Rough River Dam State Park.
God damn, can you leave these people alone? Her tornado... What is the name of this tornado? Tornado asshole? Like, these poor people had enough. Jesus Christ.
By the time the sun had risen on December 11th, thousands had been injured and 95 had lost their lives. The Western Kentucky tornado made up a vast majority of the casualties at 57 and had traveled for more than 165 miles in roughly 3 hours, leaving catastrophic damage in its wake. The daylight would reveal town after town after town had suffered devastating losses. In one evening, an invisible horror had changed the history of this region forever. After surveying the damage caused by the Western Kentucky tornado, it was determined that the twister had peak winds of 190 miles per hour, earning it an EF4 rating. The poor construction quality of many of the homes in this region and the fact the tornado occurred after dark certainly contributed to the tragically high death toll, becoming the single deadliest tornado since the Joplin EF5 10 years earlier.
Jesus, I remember
Perhaps the most haunting aspect of this tragedy was the fact that many of the people in the path of the storm were well warned and were fully aware of the disaster that was roaring towards them. However, many had nowhere else to go and were forced to ride out a violent tornado in their homes.
That's the thing.
I can't begin to imagine the horror of knowing such a calamity is racing towards you and you have nowhere to hide. When a town is hit by a violent tornado, it's never the same again, but time can help heal the wounds. 6 months later, I would revisit the track of this historic tornado to find that nature had already begun to undo the damage brought by the twister. To my surprise, some of the homes in some of the hardest hit areas have already been rebuilt. However, most of the impacted areas are still reeling from the destruction and are going to need help with the recovery efforts for years to come.
God, look at this.
The path to recovery is going to be slow and many of the scars of that night will never fully heal. But with time and hard work, these communities can bounce back from that tragic night in December.
What do you make me cry for? I love the music in the background. You're killing me with this really lovely kind of country sound music. Actually, I kind of want that in my intro music. Actually, I like that song. God damn, dude. I was expecting to be. This is a good video. Shout out to Red, first of all, for introducing me to this. And shout out to Kelton. Did I say Kelton Henderson? Great narration, by the way. His voice is very... oh, God. I have to redo my press powder now. Not... 90, over 90 people. That broke my heart. A lot of people can't afford to have, what can you do? How a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. If you're elderly or if you don't own a car, you're just kind of, you're just going to hope for the best. You kind of hope for the best. That's what I do during a hurricane. I stay close to my father and I make sure if anything happens, I protect him. If I go out, at least I protect him. But it's just, it just breaks my heart because these poor people are just going their life day by day, just trying to probably keep their head above water, most of them. And they lose everything. You lose everything you know, a lot of it, you can say, oh, it's just stuff, whatever. But a lot of it, it's a lot, you know, we're humans. We're human. We get sentimental about certain things. We have sentimental items that, you know, could be heirlooms or just things that we're sentimental about. When you lose that, you feel like you just lose a little bit of piece of you. You know, when people lost probably heirlooms and photos and just like things that we didn't even talk about. Pets. You know, I'm sure there were some pets that probably lost their lives during these things. I'm glad they didn't mention anything like that. I don't want to hear anything like that. But you know, if over 90 people, I don't want. You know what? Let's not even go there, because I'll just get myself depressed altogether. But I got recorded another one. This is the first video of the night. When I should have did these like. I wasn't expecting this to get me this emotional. I should have done these videos. Now thinking about it, I should have done these last. I wasn't expecting to be all mucused up now at this point. Shout out to you, Red. You got emotion out of me on my little black heart. But no, this is a good video. It was very just kind of like, it's just heartbreaking. It really is. It's just heartbreaking to see these poor people have to... and the loved ones that to you, Red, and take care of yourself, take care of Joe, love, peace, and grease, and bye.